Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Figma Shorts where we discuss the basics of Figma. And in today's video, we are going to design the Pinterest UI, also known as masonry grids, using just auto layout. By the way, this is my third video in the auto layout series. So if you haven't watched the part 1 and part 2 of the basic series, then I would highly recommend you to go and check it out as well. I will link them in the description below and on the card above. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So this is the Pinterest desktop UI that I've taken a screenshot from their website, and this sort of irregular grid pattern is also known as masonry grids. Now what we need to do is let's first quickly break down this UI and understand what we need to build in Figma using auto layouts. Okay, so if you see the entire layout, it's being created by one element that is repeating everywhere, and that is basically this card structure that you're seeing here, right? And this card structure contains two things. It contains a content, which can be an image or a video, and then you'll have a text here, and in some variation you don't even have the text, you just have the card like this, you don't even have any text, right? So some variation of this card is what being repeated. If you see, the entire layout is being created by using this one card element. And what happens is if I use this card and stack one on top of each other, so let's say I'll just show it from here. If I take this card and just stack all these cards one top of each other, we will be creating our columns, right? And when we replicate this column in the horizontal direction, like these columns, we'll get our entire layout. So pretty fantastic. Just using one card, we first create columns, and then using those columns we create the entire layout. So it's just one card is what is creating the entire thing. So let's build our strategy. We'll first build our card, which will be this card. Then we'll build our columns, and then we'll replicate those columns in the horizontal direction, and we'll create the entire Pinterest UI. So that's it. Let's head over to Figma and design all these components using auto layout. Now let's start with the step 1 of our UI creation, which is basically creating the card that we're going to replicate in the entire layout. So to build that card, what we need is an image and a text that shows the like count, and we have both of it ready here. And what we need to do next is we need to select these two elements, the image and the text, together, and we'll hit Shift and A on our keyboard to convert it into an auto layout. So let's hit Shift and A, and it's been converted into an auto layout. Now there's a bunch of options that you're seeing here for auto layouting. One is that since these two elements are stacked one on top of the other, auto layout has already determined the direction. That's a vertical direction auto layout. And if you want to change the spacing between these two elements, we can do that quickly here. It's 18 for now. We can set it to 8 properly. So the spacing is between this text and the image. We don't want to give any padding. Padding is basically spacing around these two elements together. We don't want to do that. And the last option is to add alignment and padding. So right now, if you see, the alignment is top left, which means that when I resize the frame, the elements are going to stick to the top left. If you see, it's sticking to top left. But if you want to stick it to, let's say, bottom left, we can do that from here as well. If you want to stick it in the center, that also you can do. Top right, top left, right? That all sort of options you have here to align these elements. So for now, we want to stick it to the top left, so that whenever we resize, the elements are stacked in the top left direction. Perfect. So our auto layout with the card is ready, but there's one thing missing. So if I show you again, when I resize the frame, nothing is happening to the inside elements, and that is why, because we haven't told auto layout what to do when we resize the frame. So what we want is that this text to be sticking always on the bottom, and whatever is the space that is available in the frame should be taken up by this image. So to do that, what we need to do is I've explained that in the last video as well. What we need to do is we need to select this image, and if you see, it's been set to fixed width and height, which means it will not change it width and height when we resize the frame. What we need to do is we need to say, okay, if there is space available, you should fill it. So we'll select the option of fill container in both directions. So now what will happen is, if I try to resize the frame, if you see here, all the available area is now being filled by the image. And what the image is trying to do is trying to fill all the space and trying to push this element down as possible. So now it will always stick to the bottom, and our image will always take up the full space. So perfect, our first card is ready. Now what I want to do is, let me just quickly rename it to card so that we know. Perfect. And our step 1 of this process is ready. Now let's quickly convert it into a component, because then we can easily play around with it. So let's create a component out of it, because if you want to change anything here in the component, it will always reflect in the instances, and that also I've explained in my previous videos. So you can also check component videos. So now our step 1 is ready. We have created a component out of this auto layout. Okay. Now what we want to do is, we want to start our step 2, and the step 2, if you remember, was to create columns out of these cards. So let's quickly do that. Let's build a column layout. To build the column, what I'm going to do right now is, I'm going to replicate this card, which will create instances out of this card, and I'm going to stack these cards in a vertical direction. So I'll just create 4 instances out of it. Let's say 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let me just really quickly change the images so that it becomes a little bit more clear. And I'll also change the text so that we can understand it a little bit. But what I have done essentially is, I have just created instance of this card. Okay. So let me just quickly change the image and text. So guys, now what we have done is, we have updated the images and the text for each card. And now what we want to do is, we want to create our column. So what we'll do is, we'll select all these 4 elements and we'll hit Shift and A on our keyboard to create a auto layout out of it. So let's hit Shift and A, and an auto layout has been created that contains this column and has 4 elements in it. Okay. So a column auto layout is created. Let's rename it to column. Okay. And in this, again, you can, since it's stacked one top of the other, it's labeled as in the vertical direction. If you want to change the spacing between them, we can quickly do that. Let's do 16 spacing. The spacing is between each card now, and that is now set to 16. We don't want any padding, which is fine. And we also don't want to change it to anything into the alignment, so that is also fine. But the benefit of creating an auto layout column is that if you want to, let's say, reposition anything, you can very easily do that. Let's say I want this 4th element in the 2nd spot. I can just easily select this element, and I'll select this element and I'll just drag it on top. And what auto layout will do is, it will just maintain everything that you have set, all the constraint that you have set. So if you see, if I move anything up and down, it will just try to maintain the entire constraint that I have already set for it. And in case, if you remember, in the Pinterest UI, in some places there were text and in some places there were no text. So if you want to remove the text, that also you can do. And auto layout will just quickly fill up all the space that is available to it, maintaining all the constraint. So that's the really good part about creating auto layout. Okay. So now we have this, and to create Mason grids, so Mason grids, as I explained, they are mostly irregular in dimensions. So if you want, you can resize any element you want. Like this, so you can make something bigger, you can make something smaller. So let's make this one bigger, make this one even smaller, and you can create and you can try work it out in a different directions, whatever you feel like. So you're free to do anything you want here, and auto layout will maintain all the properties that you have set for it. So great, we have our column 1 ready. Now we want to do is, we want to create our step 3, which is basically creating a horizontal layout using these columns. Okay. So what I'll do now is, I'll just quickly duplicate this column a bunch of times, let's say 4 times. Yeah. And what I want to do now is, I'll select all these 4 columns and I'll hit Shift and A and create an auto layout out of this as well. So I'll hit Shift and A and I'll create an auto layout. Let me just quickly add a stroke fill to it, so that you can see the frame. And let's quickly do the styling. Now if you see, this auto layout is in the horizontal direction because the columns are stacked in the horizontal direction. For this bigger frame, the elements are these columns and these columns are stacked in the horizontal direction. So now the auto layout position is in the horizontal direction. So it's really easy for you to understand which direction what we are trying to build. Okay. And the spacing between them, this spacing between this and this is this white space. We don't want 40, we can set it to 16 so that it match our vertical spacing. So we'll do 16. Perfect. In this case, we want some padding because it's now touching the boundaries. So let's do a padding of 24. Perfect. So now if you see, our entire layout, Pinterest layout, is coming together slowly and steadily. And now we have the layout which contains these 4 columns. Okay. Now if you see, we have the options of alignment. Now it's set to top left, which means that whenever I resize the frame, it's going to stick to top left. But if you remember, if you see in a lot of sites that when we design responsively, what happens that if you hit the extra large desktop viewpoint where the screen is too large, the content always stays in the center. So if you want to achieve that sort of effect as well, you can do that. You can select the top center option. So what happens is, if the screen size is too big, the content will always remain in the center. So if you see, now it's sticking in the center because we have given top center. If you want, we can also give bottom center, left. You have all bunch of options and it will try to just do that. Okay, so now let's stick to top center. And now you see, our layout is almost ready, but there's again one more problem. If I am resizing the layout, nothing is happening apart from these elements moving in the center. What we want is, whatever is the available space, I want these elements to be flexible and they should cover up the entire space. So what I'm going to do now is, as we did for the card and the image, we have to tell auto layout that, hey, these elements are stretchable. So what we'll do is, we'll select the elements of this bigger frame, which are these columns, and we'll come here and you see it's set to hug content. We'll change it to fill container in both directions. So if you see, as soon as I hit fill container, the child frames, which are these columns, are now taking up the whole space of the auto layout and also maintaining these constraints. But if you see, the inside elements are not expanding. The frame of the columns are expanding to fill the space. If you see, the frames are bigger, but the inside elements are not expanding because, again, for the inside element, we have not told auto layout what to do. So for this column auto layout, we have not told the inside element what to do, and they are again now set to fixed width and height. So what we need to do is, we need to come here and select all the elements inside the column auto layout, which is the second level, and instead of fixed width, we need to change it to fill container. And if you remember, our initial card is also set to fill container, so that in its own small frame, it's always filling the container. So that's there. So let's quickly select all the elements inside every column and do fill container, so that it's take up all the available space. Let's do it, fill container again. So I hope you understood what I'm doing here. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to give this fill container property to each and every element of the frames. So for the bigger frame, the columns are the child element. So I gave fill container to child element. For these columns, these cards are the child element. So I gave these child element, the individual cards, as fill container options. Okay. And now it's looking really symmetric. So what I also want to do is, let me just quickly change the images so that it looks a little bit different. Let me just quickly do that. So what we have done is, we have updated now all the images on every card. Now what we need to do, the last step, is that we need to change this height of the entire cards. So all these cards are now looking really uniform, and that's not what masonry grid is. Masonry grid is more like irregular in shape. So what I can do is, I'll just quickly come here and I'll update this size to bigger. Perfect. So now if you see, our UI is now ready, and I can resize it the way I want, and all of them will maintain all of their properties. And if you want to add, you can add more columns to it and it'll still maintain all the properties. So now let's quickly recap what we did. We did 3 things. First of all, we built this card, which you're seeing on the left, and we applied auto layout to it, and then we changed it to the component form. Then what we did is, we used this single card and created this entire column out of it, and that was our second step. And in the third step, what we did is, we replicated this card in the horizontal direction and applied an auto layout again to it to create this entire layout. And then we quickly come back from each level. So for the bigger frame, these were the child element, the columns were the child element. We set it to fill container in both direction. And for the columns, these cards were the child element. So we set fill width and fill container for both X and Y direction for these elements as well. So now what is happening is whenever we are resizing, it's essentially resizing everything. And that's how our Pinterest UI looks like. There's one more small thing that I want to explain here is that we built everything using a component form. And the reason for that is now if I want to change anything in the entire UI, I need not to go here and check it. So for example, if I want to add additional field, I don't have to do anything else in these field individually. What I can do is I'll just simply come here and I can just let's say duplicate this, and all of my cards will now inherit that property. So if you see, it's really efficient for me to use a component based system. So if you haven't heard of component, and if you're not sure how to use component, I've explained that in my previous videos as well. So you can just go and check it out as well. But the reason for using component is that if I do any change in my main component, main card, it'll always reflect in the entire system. And now the entire system is again resizable, and it'll follow the entire frame that you have built. So guys, I think that's it. That's how you build an entire layout, Pinterest sort of layout, this masonry grid using just auto layout. I hope you understood this. In the next video, what I am going to do is I'm going to create a navigation bar, and in the last video we'll try to put up all these things that you have learned from video 1 to video 4 together, and we'll create a full-blown layout out of it. So yeah, that's it. I think that is for today. And if you like the video, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That will really help the channel to grow. And I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.